Oh, there's the music, and here it comes. Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern on CBS. It's the back-to-back defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs taking on Jalen Milroe and an Alabama team looking to create chaos in the college football playoff. Brad Nessler is going to be on the call in the booth on CBS. Brad, it's the 5th time in the last 6 seasons that these two programs are meeting for either a conference title or a national title. You've been calling games for 4 decades or so. Has there ever been an instance where programs at the very top have met this often with so much on the line?
No, I don't remember, Chris, that's for sure. I mean, when you get Alabama and Georgia together, it's 2 juggernauts, 2 programs that are at the top of their game right now. And it's kind of weird because, for so long it was Nick and Alabama, and now the no pun intended, the tide's turned a little bit, and now it's Georgia with Kirby. It's just we looked at this at the beginning of the year, and everybody did. You did, the media did at the SEC media days. It's going to be Georgia to win one side. It's going to be Alabama to win the West. The collision course was set, and I just wish there wasn't that one Texas blemish in there because it would really probably even mean more. But it's going to mean enough with the college football playoff coming up when this one's over.
And even though the Tide have a 3-0 record in the SEC championship game, and Nick Saban hasn't lost to Kirby Smart in the SEC championship game or the regular season, he does have that loss to Kirby the last time they played in the national championship game a couple of years ago. But for Georgia, 3 straight perfect regular seasons, and this one seemed different. Why is that?
It's just so impossible to do what Georgia's done. I mean, it's been done, back with Oklahoma in the 40s with Bud Wilkinson, and and Nick had his run with Alabama where they had a chance to win 3. Miami had kind of the opportunity, but you just don't see this come along. And I mean, 29 wins in a row is just insane, and 3 straight unbeaten seasons in the SEC, man, that is hard to do. I mean, it's just so hard to do. And now that Georgia's got the SEC record at 29 straight, looking to add to it, and you kind of look at it and you go, you have to have a little bit of luck, you have to have a great team, you have to have great recruiting, you have to have great coaches. I get all that, but they've been down in games, and they've been down in 2 or 3 of the games that Gary and I and Jenny have done this year, and you just go, I don't think they can do it again. And they find a way. They're so resilient. And it's really unprecedented, and I don't know if we'll see it again. Whether this ends with them winning the 3rd or not, I don't know if we'll ever see this kind of dynasty. It's just going to be too hard to do, I think. You mentioned that Alabama-Texas game. If not for that loss, it would be a matchup of 2 unbeatens. But Alabama's won 10 straight since then. Everybody's asking the question, if Alabama wins, should that be enough to get them into the college football playoff? What would you say to an Alabama team right now, and what do you think should happen? Well, I can't say that they're not one of the 4 best teams right now. I know they have the loss, and I know there's undefeated teams out there. It's going to take care of itself. Once Washington and Oregon get together on Friday night, and if Oregon gets them back, that's going to take care of part of business. And I think Louisville's got a really good shot against Florida State. And then the other thing, it's the Texas game is going to be before us. And so the Oklahoma-Texas matchup will give Alabama already knowledge whether or not they think they can get there. But, I mean, miracles do happen. And we saw that last week at Jordan-Hare. So I would never count Alabama out, that's for sure. Brad, last SEC championship game on CBS. You have been calling games on CBS in the SEC ever since the early 90s, your first go-around at CBS. We put together a few of your more recent calls from the SEC. We'll take a listen to this, some of the greatest calls in college football history.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Brad Nessler. In trouble in the backfield, wants to throw now, and he's going to go deep. And I mean deep, and I mean touchdown, Florida! A Hail Mary that's full of grace for the Gators. And Burrow keeps it. Joe Burrow might be a Heisman moment right there if he hasn't produced enough of them. Just inside the 16, quarterback draw, Jalen Hurts, touchdown! From 28 yards away for an Aggie upset win. And it's good. He got it. There's a lot of airspace to cover for Milroe. Still looking. Firing. Near corner. It's caught. Touchdown, Alabama. Isaiah Bond on a 4th and a mile. Bond. Isaiah Bond. Unbelievable.
I tell you, Brad, I've loved a lot of your calls. That last one is definitely top 3 for me with the James Bond reference. What are your thoughts going into this last SEC championship on CBS?
Oh, man, Chris, that gives me chills. Thanks for doing that, guys. That was very cool. There's been so many great moments and the places you get to go, the people you get to meet, the coaches, the players, the fans have been awesome. I'm going to miss everything, I'm going to miss War Eagle flying at Auburn. I'm going to miss Mike the Tiger and night games with the LSU fans. I'm going to miss doing games in Athens and be able to get home and have pizza with my wife before it's midnight. I could go on and on and on. There's just so many things about the SEC that is so cool, and I'm gonna miss them all. But we'll try to wrap a bow on it at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, I guess, on Saturday. See if we can get some more of those magical plays.
You've been in the booth for many of them. I know you're looking forward to calling more Big Ten games next season on CBS. But first things first, one more showdown for the SEC title between the 2 top programs in the country, Alabama and Georgia. That's Brad Nessler on the call with Gary Danielson and Jenny Dale. Looking forward to it this weekend.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good week, guys.
Our appreciation for Brad taking time away from his prep to talk to us here on HQ and preview that one and look back at the past. Cover 3 podcast has everything you need to know, including best bets heading into championship weekend, which begins on Friday. We've got the Conference USA Championship game on CBS Sports Network Friday. Also, the Pac-12 Championship game is Friday. Oregon and Washington for likely a spot in the college football playoff is in Vegas on Friday.